Hi, welcome to the second installation of my bi-weekly group buy series. Since making the first group buy video, there are a couple things that I learned that I feel like I can do better on. 1. When researching for keyboard group buys, I realized that there were a lot of different group buys that I missed, which is why I began posting them in a comment below so that people could still find them. I'll try to do better on this front by researching more, but there will definitely be instances where I miss out on group buys, because this is something that I'm doing myself and I do have a full-time job, so I'm quite restricted on time. If I do miss out on a group buy, I'll be doing something similar by posting them in the comment section below. 2. The next point that I learned was that it's probably not the best idea to sort keyboard group buys by end date. For keycaps, this isn't an issue for the most part because they tend to be unlimited, but it can be an issue with keyboards for sure. For this week, I've decided to do a mixed format where I do include some group buys based on start date, but also include group buys based on end date. In the future, all keyboard group buys will be sorted by start date. I haven't quite decided how I want to do this, so if you have a preferred format, do let me know in the comments so I can make the appropriate changes. Starting with the GMK Blurple, I personally really like this set. I've been looking for a purple set for some time now, and I nearly pulled the trigger on a couple other ones, but I ultimately chose to join in on this group buy. There isn't really a strong theme to this set as it's based off of a color, which is probably why there isn't a novelties kit designed for this set. There is a collaboration with RAMA and some special designed keycaps in the aesthetics kit that appears to be cats, which are very nice, but it's not very clear as to why the designer chose to include that design, and I didn't find anything in the IC. It could be possible that the designer just thinks that the cats are very cute and wanted to include them, but looking at the designer's Instagram page, I think it's more likely due to the fact that it appears that they own a cat themselves, and the cat design appears to be their logo. I think that the colors that were chosen are very soothing, and that it's pretty nice that there is an obscure kit to provide support for 40% boards, and other layouts that need keys with special sizes. The standard kit colors are nice, but I'm interested in how the set would look with the alternate alphas, so I did buy that kit as well. I'm kinda hoping that the group buy turns out to be super successful, so that the designer would consider releasing the set in PBT. But since most sets end up only having releases with GMK, I'm keeping my hopes down so I won't be disappointed. This set is designed by the same designer who created the GMK Pono and the GMK Dandy. The original release for the GMK Wasabi was in 2019 for $109, which is pretty affordable considering current GMK prices. Now in 2021, Sour is re-releasing the GMK Wasabi, but this time with some updates to the base kit as well as some new kits to provide more support and customization. The base kit is now $125, but includes more keys since the original set did not include ISO enter keys or numpad. The colors look kinda different for the renders between V1 and V2, but I think this is just poor rendering or maybe contrast, since the V2 renders have a darker black background. This set essentially looks like a dark GMK Dandy, although I guess it is true that the green used in GMK Dandy is different than the one used in GMK Wasabi. If you already have the GMK Dandy and don't really have the need for a darker set, I don't think that this is a must buy for you. But for those on the lookout for a nice dark set with green accents, I would strongly consider this set. Green sets tend to be more rare compared to some of the other colors, so I feel like that's part of the reason why GMK Botanical did so well in group buy, and is now highly sought after in the aftermarket. There are a couple of green sets that are upcoming and will be hitting group buy soon, but for those of you who can't wait, I think that the GMK Wasabi is a very clean set that should be strongly considered. The last thing I just want to go over is the UTD 360C. I did put a note in the video that the unlimited group buy was for US only, so if you don't live in the US, I guess you're going to have to search for someone who would be willing to buy this keyboard for you and then ship it over. There was a small Canada exclusive group buy of 30 units, but I wasn't making these videos at the time. Another thing that I want to point out is that the cable does not appear to be detachable. In the group buy page, it specifically mentions that you will need to solder the USB cable to the PCB. Looking at the pictures which show the cable, you can see that it only has one connector, which is for the host side, and the other side is just a bunch of wires for you to solder onto the PCB. I think that for most people, this might be a deal breaker, so I just wanted to make sure that people are aware before they spend $350 on a keyboard.